Well, hey, y'all, hey. Hey. Are we having a good time? Yes. I love it. This is my first time in Rhode Island. I love it here. You may be the smallest state, but you're certainly one of the prettiest. I'm guessing you're more pretty even when you get rid of that groundbreaking 3 feet of snow on the ground. But I love it. And I'm so honored that I have 5 of my good girlfriends who came up to support me. We've been friends for more than 30 years. Isn't that amazing? And they've come from New York, New Jersey, and South Carolina. And I think the reason that we're good friends is because we're all very different, right? Like I have the one friend who's always right, and the other one who's never wrong, you know? It works out well. And then the rest of us just try to get in where we fit in. So it's always fun to kind of watch them debate something. It's like watching a tennis match. It's like the color's periwinkle. No, it's blue. It's periwinkle. It's blue. And we're watching it, and we're like, we're just trying to go to dinner. Like, what's happening here, right? But I love it. And one of my friends, she's awesome, and I'm not surprised that she's awesome because her mom was an awesome lady, and my grandfather always taught me that all good soup comes from good stock, right? So her mom was amazing, and she was one of those people that was just loving and kind and salt of the earth and who could see the good in everything. Like she could always find a way to fix things, and that was her superpower. And she was also a really good cook. So once she invited a bunch of us over to have a meal, and she said, don't bring anything. So we all understood not to bring anything, except our one friend, who decided she was gonna bring her mother's recipe for macaroni and cheese. Now, y'all, we knew this macaroni and cheese was gonna be a problem because we smelled it before we saw it. And normally with macaroni and cheese, that's a good thing. But in this case, what you smelled was some rancid milk that was past its prime. And it was pale, light-skinned, and jiggly in a way that macaroni and cheese should never be. So now we're in a hostage situation with this macaroni and cheese. And one of our friends comes late. She comes in and she doesn't see the grief-stricken looks on our faces. And she sits down next to me and she starts piling this problematic macaroni and cheese on her plate. Being the good friend I am, I start kicking her under the table. My friend, who I love dearly, won't go down in history as being the most aware of us. She says very loudly, "What? Why are you kicking me? You are kicking me under the table." I said, "No reason." Y'all, she took a bite of that problematic macaroni and cheese, and I saw her cry the tears of our ancestors. Because she knew she just got served a side of struggle and disrespect, right? And as I told you, my friend's mom could just see the good in anything, right? So she says, well, maybe if we put the macaroni and cheese in the oven for a little while longer, it'd be better. I said, Miss Joyce, you can put that in a fiery furnace with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And that macaroni and cheese is still gonna be a problem. Y'all, I think we having macaroni and cheese later, so thoughts and prayers. I love the color purple. Not the award-winning book or movie of the same name, although those are great too. The actual color purple. I love its vibrancy, and I love how I feel when I wear it. Unapologetically confident and self-assured. And when I'm wearing purple, I feel like it helps to announce my presence in a way that says, watch out world, here she comes. And scientific studies have even shown that the color purple actually evokes feelings of artistic expression, focus, and mental balance. So as someone who works in a creative space, it would make sense that I love it so much. One sunny Sunday afternoon, I found myself in an obscure beauty supply store in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I saw this beautiful tube of purple lipstick staring at me saying, hey girl, hey, come over here, take me home. And I did. It also didn't hurt that it only cost $3.99. Lipstick in my favorite color that was also a bargain. Yes, please. And I wore that lipstick every day. It didn't matter if it matched anything else that I was wearing. It was purple. I loved it so much. And I loved how I felt when I wore it. Authentically me. A few months after I bought that lipstick, I was having dinner with a dear friend who's also a really opinionated friend. Here's hoping she'll still be a dear friend after she watches this talk. So at that dinner, I very excitedly say to her, hey, I'm about to take some new headshots. And without missing a beat, she said, I sure hope you're not gonna wear that purple lipstick you like to wear so much. I know. Ironically enough, that night I wasn't wearing the lipstick. We weren't eating anything purple. No eggplant, no grapes, no cabbage. They weren't even playing Purple Rain on the restaurant sound system. So I'm like, she's been holding on to that one for a minute, waiting for the right opportunity to strike. And in the moment, I passionately defended my right to wear my purple lipstick. I said, I don't care that you don't like my lipstick. I like it, and that's all that matters. But here's the thing. After that dinner, I didn't wear that lipstick for 4 months. 4 months. Because her words, while she didn't intend them to, cut deeply. They had played into some insecurities I was already feeling about myself. What do people think of me? Am I too much? Who am I to be wearing something so bold? Then I thought about it for a second, and I said, who am I not to be wearing purple lipstick? And it occurred to me that in life, we all have a version of a purple lipstick, something we want to do or say or try, but we're afraid because of what others may think about us. And you know what? I've been embracing my inner purple lipstick for longer than I even realized. See, I'm the woman who started performing stand-up comedy 12 years ago at the wonderful age of 45 years old. Thank you. And who 3 years ago left a corporate job I loved and a city that I loved to move from Charlotte, North Carolina to Nashville, Tennessee to further nurture and pursue that craft. On the last Sunday that I lived in Charlotte, I went to my beloved church, the Park Church, and my awesome pastor, Bishop Claude Richard Alexander Jr., called me to the altar to pray over me, and he said 5 words that I will never forget. I'm sending you on assignment. See, I'd never thought about comedy as an assignment, but after he said those words to me, I realized that it is. Comedy cuts across all boundaries, unites us when we need to feel connection, lifts us when we're down, and gives us permission to laugh at the end of a long day. I walk into rooms filled with strangers and leave them laughing together. People from different backgrounds sharing the same moment of joy. And oftentimes, the people who laugh the loudest are the ones who needed it the most. The thought that I can help turn someone's night from difficult to a little lighter is an assignment I'm glad is mine and one that I happily accept. I think about the time when I was performing at a charity event, and after the show, a woman came up to me and she said, you know, I've seen you perform before, and the night I did, it was the worst night of my life. And I was thinking, okay, what jokes did I tell that night? And I was like, lady, please don't cancel me. I'm just starting to get good at this, right? But then she proceeded to tell me what had happened to her. And she said, the last thing I wanted to do that night was come to a comedy show, but you made me laugh so hard that I forgot about my problems at least for a little while. I appreciated her openness, and I was grateful that she saw something in me that allowed her to be that bold and vulnerable. That took real courage. Then I think about the time when I was performing on a cruise ship, and when I was on stage, I noticed that a woman in the audience had her back turned to me, and I thought, are the jokes that bad that she's already turned her back to me? But what I realized she was doing was signing my show for someone in the audience who was hearing impaired. Understanding what was happening, I slowed down my cadence to make sure that she could capture every word. At one point after I told the joke, I looked over and noticed that the woman who was hearing impaired had laughed very heartily. I can't even make you understand what that did for me. That this woman who could not even hear my words but still felt a connection with me through humor. Not gonna lie, I had to turn away because I could feel the tears forming. I was also so in awe of this woman who did not allow what others may dictate as a barrier to stop her from living her life. She wasn't just enduring life, she was living it fully. She came to a comedy show ready to laugh. I find that type of determination remarkable. And then I think about the mother and the daughter who I met, who had come to a few of my shows, and I got the impression that the daughter was nonverbal because the mother did all the talking. And the mother handed me a beautiful beaded bracelet. And she said, "My daughter really likes you, and she made this bracelet for you and wondered if you wear it." I was absolutely touched. I thanked them both, and I said I absolutely will wear it. That bracelet became a physical reminder to me of how my assignment was having an impact. I wore that bracelet every day until every single bead popped off. And while I appreciated the gift, what I appreciated more was that they approached me without hesitation or fear of rejection for the possibility of connection. And I would imagine that it's hard to make friends for the daughter, even though I don't know her full story, but I needed her to know in that moment, I saw her, I felt her, and I won't soon forget her. Now, I don't tell you these stories to make it look like I'm this great comedian saving the world one joke at a time. Although, you know, they say laughter is the best medicine, so maybe I am, right? I'm kidding. I tell it to you because had I not lived my authentic life and embraced my inner purple lipstick or went where my assignment took me, I don't get to have these amazing interactions with these people, and they don't get to have the moments they needed to have at those times. So I want to encourage you to embrace your inner purple lipstick and live your life unapologetically authentic. Your assignment, do the thing you've been wanting to do. Start the business, write the book, take the stage. Do it at 25, 45, 75. Because the truth is, you have everything you need. You just have to decide that you're worth showing up for. And if you need a push to get you started, call me up. I got a tube of purple lipstick with your name on it. Let's go be bold together. Thank you.